Hello. As the Spring Star Screener comes to an end last week or at the end of this week for some, I just wanted to take a minute and show you some new reports in STAR that'll help you analyze student growth and provide interventions for student weaknesses. The new reports are for STAR Math and STAR Reading, and they are located in the Math dashboard and the Reading dashboard. Today we're going to look at the Math dashboard. So when you log in, this is your home screen, you'll simply just click on the Math dashboard. This will bring you to the Dashboard Navigator. Today we're only going to look at two reports. The Math Overview Report, which is, looks like it has this triangle, and the Monitor Student Mastery Report, which has this table with all these sliders. So let's start by looking at the Math Overview Report. Simply click that button. When the report opens, you'll see a few things. Towards the top, you'll see your class's performance for growth based on 3 indicators. So this is as a class, and it's for growth. It'll compare your students' growth by school, by district, and by nation, and it indicates a plus or minus based on your student performance. This is all based on the student growth percentile, the SGP score. Below here, we have a visual representation of the top. So at the beginning of the year, the students took a screener, and that's identified with this blue dot. From there, STAR created a target using this purple line and a projected based on prior student performance. The blue dotted line is your actual student performance. So with slow growth in the beginning, but it looked like sometime later in the year, the students as a class median, had an SGP of 74, which is considered at or above benchmark for student growth. If you want the visual representation versus school district and nation, just simply click those buttons and it will put a line in for you so you can see how your students did relative to school, district, and nation. This report will also allow you to drill down to the student level. I'm off screen, off top, but what you can do is you can use this drop-down menu to select a student. So once you select a student, you'll notice that STAR will add a comparison growth. So it'll compare this student's growth versus the class growth now. And then, of course, school, district, and nation are also included. It also changes the visual representation at the bottom. It gives you the actual individual student's growth versus his target and his projected, and what band he is also in. Here's another student, so you can see that this student didn't perform as well. So when the growth is below, when the student growth percentile is considered below normal growth, it is indicated with a red mark and also negative difference. The visual representation also shows that the predicted line is completely under the projected and target, and that intervention is needed for the student to grow further. It also indicates the SGP on the last test of a 22, which is, as we know, below normal. The last thing I want to bring your attention to in this report is in the upper right corner, a button called View Skills and Resources. You can run this. You can run View Skills and Resources as a class or at the student level. I happen to be at the student level right now, so just click that button. Once you click on the View Skills and Resources button, you'll see that they bring up this slider, and these are the suggested skills based on the STAR Analytics. So if it is a suggested skill, it will have the suggested button, the suggested rectangle in the lower left corner for that skill. So this is where your students are performing right now. You have a slider that'll allow you to move back and forth through the learning progression. Note that the Common Core State Standard is listed under and groups the skills based on the Common Core learning progression. So you can see the skills that are suggested for your class with the blue, but you can also explore further. One part that I really like in this View Resources is this little search spyglass. This will allow you to search for Common Core State Standard. So let's say these are the suggested skills, but you're not working on these skills right now in class, and you want resources that go along with the skills you're working on in class. So you simply just enter the Common Core State Standard that you're working on. So let's say we're working on 6.g.1. Hit enter. Now, notice that these are blocked out, but this one is highlighted. It brings you right to the end of the progression, so just back up one progression, and you'll see that 6G1 is right here, and these 4 topics are what STAR considers to be in this Common Core State Standard. What you can do is, if you want to see the resources for these topics, just simply click the boxes. It'll add them to your instructional queue, and then hit continue. So it loaded my 4 skills in, and as you can see down here, it gives you multiple open source resources, 89 total, 9 pages of results for that one standard. That one Common Core State Standard has 9 pages, 89 open source resources that can be added to your Google Classroom or your Blendspace or whatever you're using, and then your students can study this content. And remember, if it's a suggested skill or a focus area, you have STAR analytics to back up that that's a weakness that the students need help with. So it brings you to the resources, and it's very easy to simply just hit the preview button to review them, and then you just click on the link and it will send you right to them. I'm just going to back out. Towards the bottom there's a back button. Then there's a back button again. And then I'm just going to hit the dashboard button to get back home. I'm now back at the dashboard navigator. The second report that I want to look at is the Monitor Student Mastery Report. So I'm just going to click on that. What this report will do is it will show you your student performance based on the district benchmark versus the Common Core. So one, it gives you an overall classroom mastery. So this class happens to be at or above benchmark with that scaled score. But then it gives me the grade level, and it breaks down. So let me scroll down a little further here. It breaks down by Common Core domain. So I can see that the students have not seen any questions on statistics and probability at this grade level. However, the other domains, ratios, number systems, and expressions, are strong, medium to strong, with a medium confidence in the data, while geometry is lower. It'll allow you to drill down further. Just click on the domain itself. Then it'll break it down by Common Core State Standard. So I can see that the students have seen only questions on 6.g.1. So I know that the students have seen questions and that they are weak on those questions. So there's a little triangle here that will drill down further. So if you click this triangle, it'll show you 6G1 for your entire class. So some students are stronger, some students are weaker, but for the most part, it gives you the entire class and how they performed on that indicator. Just click the domains button to go back. So while they only saw that one standard in geometry, if I click on ratios and proportions, you can see that the students have seen a lot more questions based on ratios and proportions. So they're actually quite strong on, I would say, 3/4 of them, medium to high, but on this standard, they seem to need trouble. They seem to need intervention. So this could be the focus area for an intervention group. I will just note that you do also have a View Skills and Resources button on this report, but we already went into that when we looked at the first report today. So those are the two reports I wanted to show you in STAR. They are definitely beneficial for looking at student growth and providing interventions for students. If you have any additional questions, feel free to send us an email and we can help you solve your problem.